Hello, class. Our today's topic is cross cultural conflicts and its management. The things we'll be covering, that is the definition of conflict, the issues, the causes of conflicts, the types, steps of analyzing the conflict, and ways of dealing with conflicts. First of all, the definition. Conflict is a appearance of difference. This is the difference of opinions or of interests. It is a definition given by Mr. Follett. What he says, it is a difference of opinion. Why there is a conflict? Because I don't have a similar opinion as my friend is having or as my colleague is having. The second definition, conflict is not a positive force in a group but is also necessary for a group to perform effectively. Definitely, as Mr. Robin is saying, conflict is not a positive force in a group, but it is also necessary for a group to perform effectively. If you want to perform effectively, you need to have a zeal to compete with each other. That competition arises when you have a difference of opinion only. Then the causes of cross cultural conflicts. There are certain causes: the age you belong to, the ethnicity, the country you belong to, the gender, values, customs. Or this can be explained: cross cultural conflicts come from the instinctive friend or foe identification of people belonging different groups. It is an interpersonal conflict with the difference that the persons involved in conflict episode belong to another group. You have a different group, that's why the conflict arises, because you are not from a similar culture, similar place, similar education you are not having. Then the conflict arises because of that particular difference. Then next thing, the types of cross cultural conflicts. There are simply two types. First is soft conflict, second is hard conflict. The soft conflict that remains inside, that is, you keep it private and invisible, you don't express, you don't show it off. But the hard conflict, it incites social reactions. Then steps to analyze conflict. The next topic in this, we have to analyze the conflict because I need a solution. Being a HR manager, you are supposed to bring certain solutions for these kind of conflicts or problems. The first point, analyze the conflict. You have to analyze the situation, why the conflict arises, what are the reasons, what are the parties involved, so and so many number of things. Then determine your management strategy. Now, being a HR manager or being a head, you have to think of how I am going to manage the particular conflict. So I need to develop a strategy, I need to think of a plan. Then pre-negotiation, definitely I can't leave the things in the same way as it is arising, or if the conflict is there, I cannot leave it as such. I have to start up a conversation, I have to start up a negotiation, I have to plan for that. That is called pre-negotiation. Then the negotiation would take place, that is basically we are trying to sort the problems out. And the post negotiation is after everything has been sorted out, why the conflict arises, what are the results, why this thing has happened, now how can I overcome these situations, I can overcome these problems. Now next is I have to see the after effects post negotiation. Then the main thing comes, how to manage conflicts. Because in every organization, when there are n number of people who are coming from different backgrounds, different culture, there would be certain number of conflict arising on daily basis. So I need to manage all those conflicts in order to run my organization smoothly. So the very first thing could be intercultural communication ethics. I have to teach my employees about the intercultural ethics, how they communicate. Now this is very simply shown over here, that the lady is trying to handshake, but the male member, he's bowing. Why he's bowing? Because it is the culture of his country, it is the culture of his organization maybe. So this intercultural communication ethics incorporates learning about practices that enable constructive conversation in a world of cultural differences. Both are confused, but if they know about each other's culture, this would have been a different picture. So, in order to remove all those problems, there is one ethical decision making model which we use to practice. First point, problem recognition. I have to recognize the problem, where the problem is. Then, information search. Related to that particular problem, I have to search every information which can be searched out, because only then I could be able to construct the alternatives. Constructing alternatives means I'm trying to bring out certain solutions, how I can have a solution for a particular problem. Then, decision making choice. Out of the available alternatives, I have to select a particular option, alternative, which is best suited for that particular moment. And last is implementation. After deciding about the alternative, I have to implement that particular model, that particular strategy, that particular plan, that particular alternative, whatever I think or I have decided, I have to implement because I want to sort the situation. Now, here, one important thing is intercultural consultants. What they can do for us? Those consultants are professionals. They can guide us with the expert advice in different areas. For example, here is a huge list of areas available: security, management, education, accountancy, law, HR, marketing, finance, engineering, science, or any other specialized field. Because the consultants, they have expertise into these areas. They can guide us how the reactions come, how the conflict arises, and how these situations can be sorted out. So this is about today's lecture. We'll continue with other ways of dealing with conflicts in the next lecture. Thank you so much.